Windfall, wonderful audience. We run, we win. This is James, and continuing we're almost finished with this simple beginners how to start, playing chess lesson. The kings. You notice they're on their opposite colors. If you're doing this, we are the king. We are talking about the kings. They're on their opposite colors, and they are the most important part of your game. It doesn't matter whether you have all your characters or not. If you can't protect your king, it's a waste of time. The whole point is to get to the king. The king is the one that rules, like the kingdom of heaven rules over all. God rules over all. The king, the king, the king, that's the whole thing. Now, how do kings move? It's very, very simple how kings move. They only can move, they move just like the queen, except they're 100% restricted. So they only can move one at a time. We'll talk about the next time how they can move two at a time, but that's all they can do is they can move. Now, the difference between a king and another thing is that a king is not allowed to move into check. We're going to talk about check later, but a king is not, because this is how a king goes, and then how a king would take a person, would be if the king was here already. And the king couldn't, well, that wouldn't work. So let's move out. Let's pretend there's a queen here. The queen's here. The king's here. This is how the king takes a person. They can only take it by moving, there. In any direction, just like the queen. But they only can move. That's how they take a thing. But now the only difference is a king cannot, since a king can only move in that circle, a king cannot move in the check. Which is what we'll talk about in another video. But check, he can't move into check. So that means since kings can take this or any other character, that means you have to really be paying attention. This king cannot move here. This king cannot move here because this person can take him. And so a king cannot move into danger. That's the best way to put it. Check is like being in danger. So that's how it works with any character. So if there was a queen here, this king cannot move here or here, could not move here, here, or here. Because the queen, of course, can go all the way, and this king can take all that. So he can move here, and he can move here, or he can move here. So that's how you start learning your strategy, but you have to protect your king, and we'll talk about check, I do believe, shortly. And so that's it. So there's your king, and so remember, this is the most important part. The king rules the kingdom, and without the king, it's over, and it doesn't matter how many pieces you have or how little pieces you have. If your king is captured, it's game over. And remember, live, move, be.